Absolutely incredible, Roger.
And where was that from again, Sir Geoffrey?
Now, if I'm not mistaken,
Yes.
that was the Suman dance of the Indonesian peoples.
Incredible.
I got that one from my deductive reasoning.
Ah, fantastic. Fantastic, Sir Geoffrey.
Now, Baldric, it's time to take all that we have learned and travel homeward and present our findings to the public. Now,
over here, conveniently placed, of course. Yes.
Yes. Now, of course, in order to travel home, everybody knows that you need some kind of theatrical coup de théâtre. We would like to present the theatrical coup de théâtre of a podium.
Here we go, Sir Geoffrey.
Thank you very much, Baldric. Yes, very good, very good, very good.
There we go, Sir Geoffrey.
Up my cane.
Okay, Sir Geoffrey.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sir Geoffrey Archibald Esquire the Third. Now, perhaps we would like something to drink, maybe a cup of tea, a nice glass of sherry, or cheese and pineapple on a stick, anyone? Now, what shall we discuss? Maybe the weather, maybe our mutual distaste of the political climate and the signs of the times. I know. Let us discuss multicultural Britain. Thankfully, I have this conveniently placed lectern and projector screen in order to do this. Now, when any two cultures meet, there is an exchange. There is an exchange of values, of morals, of customs, traditions. The English have, of course, traditionally done this by invading other countries. However, now we have more nations living, working, doing life together than ever before. So the question that I have come to ask, and the research that I have done, is to answer the question, what impact have the nations had on England? Now, I'd like to go through some of these cultures. So first of all, the Italian culture. When an Englishman is exposed to the Italian culture, he becomes more refined. Yes, he starts to woo the woman that he loves with fine Italian music. And of course, he takes her out for fine culinary cuisine. Pizza Express, Better Italia, all of the favorites, yes. Moving on. Now, when an Englishman is exposed to the Portuguese culture, he becomes an expert. He becomes an expert in all things piri-piri. In fact, he delights in giving his own explanation of what piri-piri actually is. That is in no way grounded in fact, or reason, or research, or truth. Moving on to our next culture, the French. Now, of course, when an Englishman meets the French culture, aggression follows. Moving on. Now, when an Englishman comes to the Australian culture, his mind actually degenerates after hours of viewing.
Closer each day, home and away. Homemakers should be there for one another.
I think I just lost a year of my life. Moving on to the German culture. The one German in the room is clapping. Now, when an Englishman meets a German, he does not imbibe anything. Rather, he rejoices in two things. Number one, 1966, 4-2 in the final. And of course, the second is the war.
Listen, don't mention the war. I mentioned it once, but I think I got away with it all right.
Sorry, John Cleese, I went there. Now, here we come to the American culture. Again, the one American in the room is clapping. When we meet the American culture, we go shopping. And of course, there is another thing that happens. A very curious thing. An amazing thing, an astonishing thing. We get this. It's a curious subspecies of Englishman. His love of American music and hip-hop culture has warped his sense of self-image. Perhaps a little bit less 50 cent, more 50 pence. Now, finally, when we get to the African culture, I see there are just a few Africans in the room. Another very curious thing happens. The Englishman honestly believes that he has some kind of rhythm and ability to dance. Before coming back to the harsh reality that in fact he does not know what rhythm is, nor does he understand dance in any way. Funnily enough, the same thing actually happens when he's engaged with the Spanish culture. Yes, tried it twice. Never again. Detag the photos. Now, of course, what I have come to the realization is that these are very superficial impacts to our culture. I am still fundamentally an Englishman. My home is still my castle. My definition of hospitality is most certainly outside of the home and incidentally the hospital. My use of my own language is lax and only occasionally lines up with the rules by which we teach it. I was still very annoyed when you at the back, came into the second act. You were late. I did not enjoy that. But you don't even know who I am, do you? You don't even know. Yes, but there is one thing I would like to say. I, of course, do not conform to any of these stereotypes, nor do any of my friends. I'm, in fact, not a professor. Yeah, I know. Nor am I a Nite. I'm from Essex. Hey, yeah! Come on! And incidentally, this hat was bought yesterday, Fancy World. You can see the price tag there. £24.99, bargain. But I came to ask you this question, this serious question, as I was preparing this act and as we were, as a church, were preparing this night. We wanted to ask you guys the question, what is your culture bringing to this country? And we would also like to invite you all to come and bring your culture into this church. On behalf of myself, the church, and Baldrick, or Jason, from Somerset, I'd like to thank you all and wish you a great rest of the evening. Thank you.